Now today, I thought we'd talk about something a little fun. But I don't want you to get all upset and insulted, because it's something that young people have been doing a long time. And that's talk about old people. Now, I ain't old. I'm going to live to be 120. So I figure I'm like a teenager. So I'm going to give it to you from a teenager's view. Things that old people do. And I've always done. It's just something, something old people have always done. Are you going to be in the movie, girls? Okay. Old people have been around since the beginning of time. Well, not really. They had to get old first, and then there was old people. So maybe 80 years after the beginning of time, then there started being old people. That sounds good, yeah. Now, old people do things that younger people don't do. They go to places younger people don't go to. If you ever want to find old people today in modern society, I'm going to tell you where to go to find them, and I'm going to tell you what's going to go on there. Now, if you live in a town that has at least, 200 people, you probably got this place, and it's in every town in America, and that is the post office. That is the mecca for old people. They love to go to the post office. They'll go every day. They'll buy stamps. They'll mail packages. They'll read their mail in the post office. They'll sit in their cars, wait for other old people to pull in, get out of their cars, have conversations in the post office parking lot. You know they're old when they pull in. It's usually a big old 4-door car, and they'll have a box of tissue right in the back window. Yep, don't know why it's there. If you need it, how you going to get to it? It's in the back window. Sometimes there'll be a AAA sticker right on the bumper. They are proud members of the AAA. Now, I know some of these may not happen anymore, but I'm going back when I was a kid. This is what old people did. Some of them still do it. But those old people have passed on. Now we got new old people. And in 20 years, we'll have new old people. And they'll do different things, ever so slightly. But old people always have one thing in common. And the tissues are one of them. They got to have this box of tissues. I don't know. I'm almost 60. I haven't really felt the need to buy tissues yet. So I guess I'm still pretty young. Yeah. Another thing you'll notice about old people, they're cold all the time. All the time. I got their sweaters on when it's 100 degrees out. You walk in one of their houses, the windows are painted shut. They ain't got no air conditioner on. It's hot in there. And if you try to go towards that thermostat, you're going to have a hostage negotiation on your hands. You ain't touching it. Old people like ice cream. Yeah, they love their ice cream. Let me tell you. My dad had a submarine sandwich shop in the late 70s. And I remember when he bought this building, it used to be an old Tasty Freeze, which was an ice cream store in the South. I don't know if they had these. They're like a Dairy Queen, but all their buildings looked alike. All across the South. A unique looking building. So we remodeled it. We tore out the walls. We put in new floors. We made it into a submarine sandwich restaurant. It had a drive-through because the Tasty Freeze had a drive-through. But one thing that would always happen, and we knew it as soon as it happened, because old people, they don't eat submarine sandwiches. They just don't. I don't know if it has something to do with the teeth or what. You'd never seen old people come in and order a submarine sandwich. But when we'd see them pull in, we already knew what they was going to do. They wouldn't go to the drive-thru. Nope, old people don't go to the drive-thru. They would come in. Take forever too for them to get in the door. And they look around. I'll have a vanilla cone. Sorry, ma'am, we don't have ice cream. We have submarine sandwiches. You don't have ice cream. Isn't this Tasty Freeze? Old people use landmarks and things that used to be. They don't read signs. They just pull in. Think it's business as it used to be in the 20s and 30s and 40s and, But we would see that all the time, and they loved their ice cream. I feel sorry for them now. There's not many ice cream places left. I tell you what. They'd get back in their cars. You'd hear that AM radio blasting. If there was a baseball game on, that would be on too. Everybody would know when that batter got struck out for a block. They'd head to the grocery store. If you were unlucky, you would be behind an old woman in the grocery line. Yeah, everything would get rung up. The cashier would hit total. But no, a fistful of coupons would come out, okay? All the coupons would be scanned. Back then, I don't know what they did. I don't remember. But they'd go through the coupons. She saved $14.09. She's happy. But Friday, everything's still too expensive. Now, she may not remember that the Tasty Freeze is now a submarine sandwich shop, but I guarantee you, she's memorized every price of every item she put in that cart. She knows it. And if she gets overcharged, she's looking. Out pops the receipt. She tells them the total. Then, and only then, she begins to dig in her purse and dig out her checkbook. She don't even have the name of the grocery store written on it yet. You have to sit there. And she don't write as fast as she used to. You have to sit there and wait for her to write this check out. Got to do this number before she pulls the check out. Hands it to the cashier. I'm like, thank God she's almost done. Lady says, you don't have to fill all that out nowadays. Oh, I have to or I'll forget. Check goes through the machine. I think they're done. All she's got to do now is push that cart away and get out my way. Because I've got my beef jerky, my gallon of unsweet tea. I just want to get out of there, man. Nope. She has to sit there at the little stand and fill out what that check was written for. I thought these days was over 20 years ago. Nope. She's still writing checks. Old people like to watch the old black and white movies. Yep. Maybe I'm a little dated here because I'm getting some of these stories from my grandparents who passed on. But they would sit, my grandfather would sit, had a little table in the kitchen, a little desk with a little black and white TV. Maybe that's why they was all black and white. I didn't think of that, man. Yeah. No, these were 1940s and 50s World War II movies. He was a World War II veteran, and he would watch those I never knew there were so many World War II movies on during the middle of the day, but he found them, and they were on. This was before VCRs and all that. They like to watch shows from the old days. Can't blame them there. Then dinner would come. There'd always be, Grandma'd cook a lot. There'd always be leftovers. They would store leftovers in empty mayonnaise jars and put them in the refrigerator. 3 or 4 days later, Grandma would go through the fridge and throw out all the leftovers because nobody ever ate leftovers. But they was in there if you ever needed them. Yeah. For entertainment, once in a while, when us kids were to visit the grandparents, we'd go to the movies. That's right. We'd go to the movies because, old people like to go to the movies. It's what they did as a kid. They'd get their $1. They'd go get them a ticket to the movie. They'd take the bus there first. Get a ticket to the movie, get a thing of popcorn, and still have 50 cents left over to do whatever they wanted. There was always something left over. In any story you hear old people tell, there was always something left over to do this or do that. Yeah, get a new pair of shoes for a nickel. So it was time to go to the movies. Grandpa'd make the final decision. Okay. Out would come the old-fashioned popcorn, and Grandma would cook up the popcorn and bag it up. Yep. Bag it up in paper bags. That's how everybody knew you was bringing your own popcorn. It would be in a grocery store bag. fill an entire bag up. Everybody'd have to share. Yep, everybody else was at the refreshment stand, purchasing the overpriced soft drinks. Not us. We're in our seats going, open up our cans of Dr. Pepper. Yep, we saved a bunch of money there. Can't blame them for that. It's like $19 for a Coke. The next morning, Grandpa gets the paper. Yeah, you got to have the newspaper. They don't have those anymore. Can't find them much. First section he'd go to, obits. Got to go to the obits. We're like, Grandpa, what you looking at them for? Seeing if there's anybody I knew. Sure enough, once in a while there'd be somebody he knew. Well, I wondered what happened to that guy. Well, I didn't know he did this or did that. You get the whole story about that guy. Yep. And if you ever come out and said, hey man, let's go to McDonald's. Woo! Have you ever seen old people in McDonald's? They just ain't gonna order right off the menu. They'll get a cheeseburger or just a plain hamburger. Gotta order it special. They're not gonna take it with the onions or the pickles, or they gotta order it special and get the small coffee because, you know, old people drink coffee all day long. It's what they do. That's good coffee right there. Yep. Because you know you're holding up the line when you order special in there. You know that, right? And it ticks everyone off behind you. They don't care. They want their burger the way they want it. The way that McDonald's originally had it. That's how they want it. Grandma was over at the one section grabbing 69 packets of ketchup. We're only going to use about 5. The rest of them, they're going in the glove box in the LTD. Yep, you are never out of ketchup or mustard or any of that stuff. Grandma has it. There's even hand wipes in there for emergencies. Once in a while, she'll get one out and just kind of do this with our lips and clean us up before we go into the funeral home to see the friend that they saw in the obituary. Funeral. Ah, man, I'm telling you. And then one day, those old people, they're gone. They're gone. And you miss that. And you remember that. Yeah, they do a lot of strange things. And I think as technology progresses, they get a little more hip to things, but not really. There's still some certain things old people like to do. I mean, 100 years from now, are old people going to be going to the post office? I highly doubt we even have a post office 100 years from now. You know, we're going to have a machine. You stick a package in, hit a button, poof, and then it ends up on the other person's machine down there in California. That's how it's going to be, like the Jetsons. Yeah, they're not going to have 4-door with a place where you can put the box of tissue. You're going to have a Jetsons car. And all it's going to do is just be a bubble around your body, and you're just going to float through the air. There might be a spot for a AAA sticker. I wonder what a Jetsons AAA truck would look like. That would be something to see. I don't know. What do you girls do? You guys got any old stories about old dogs? Quit sniffing their butt. You're always a butt sniffing. Hey, they like to be in the movie, and you guys like to watch them. All right, guys, I guess that's it. I've made fun about everybody this month. And, yeah, I couldn't leave old people out because, you know, coffee. I don't know what that is about old people liking coffee when it's hot out. I got to go in there and check the obits. Happy trails.